Are you ready to break through any barrier or limiting belief holding you back? Ready to embrace your full potential and achieve your greatest success? Ready to get noticed and become the champion you were born to be? Then buckle up, because you've come to the right place. Greetings and welcome to the Warrior Confidence Podcast, where we're unleashing champions both on and off the ice. I'm your host, Master Coach Rich Grogan, and I'm truly blessed and extremely grateful you're here today. And as always, I promise I'm going to do everything I can to ignite your warrior spirit, to help you embrace your full potential, to be the hero, leader, and champion you were born to be. Well, as a reminder, this month is Synergy September. It's all about creating that synergy within yourself, that positive energy, mentally, spiritually, and physically, in order to take that synergy that you've created onto your team, to help them, to help synergize with them, to help them become their absolute very, very best, right? And when we connect that synergy together, man, that's become an unstoppable force. And that's kind of the whole goal here, right? To help you, help your team, help your organization be the absolute very, very best they can be. Because man, individuals, they fail, especially in a team setting. Obviously, talking about, as we always talk about, hockey, which has started up here in Florida. The NHL doesn't start up for another week or so, but man, our varsity team's already got 5 games in. They're looking pretty good. They're 3-1-1, so good stuff for the Palmetto Tigers varsity team. And my youngest son, Emmett, he's the backup varsity goalie, and he got a start, and he's got a first win on the season, so good stuff there. Well, this is Wednesday, Warrior Confidence Wisdom, and this is episode number 379, and I titled this one, Forged in Battle, Hard-Won Wisdom from Not Giving Up. And I tell you, I've won and I've lost a lot. Actually, the truth is I've lost a lot more than I've won. And I don't enjoy losing. I'm sure you don't enjoy losing either. It's painful. It's not good. You're like, what could I have done differently? But it's what you learn. The wisdom that you learn from that loss is not only what helps you grow, helps you get stronger, but man, that strengthens your resolve. That helps you continue to learn how to, and here's the thing. If you never failed at anything, there's a good chance that you've really never tried anything new. By trying things new, you're setting yourself up to potentially have, it's failure, but I like to think of total failure as when you just give up and quit. I've had a lot of failures, but I've never given up and giving up and quitting. Listen to me talk there. But it's what you learn in the process. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, if you never try anything new, you're never obviously going to grow. You're never going to learn. You're never going to experience anything greater than where you're at right now, because you've put a ceiling on your growth. You put a ceiling on what you're going to try and achieve. And it's in those losses, it's in those failures, it's in those stepping outside that proverbial round hole, stepping outside the crowd, standing out to get noticed. You're going to experience some failures and setbacks. But that's also when you're going to grow. That's when you're going to learn. But the wisdom comes in from learning from it and bettering the situation. There's an old saying, he with few failures is he who hasn't lived. And like I said earlier, I hate failing just as much as anybody else, probably even worse. But I also realize that's part of the journey. And this is episode number 379. And I'm still stumbling over my words here. I leave it all in, though, simply because I don't edit this stuff out. I'd like to be as transparent and genuine as possible. And people ask all the time, how do you do the podcast and the video blogs? And I said, well, you just got to get at it. And I promise you, you're going to probably suck at it until you don't suck at it anymore. But you got to get out there and do it if that's what you want to do. Now, here's the thing. There's quite a bit of work goes into setting up these podcasts, doing the videos and everything else that goes behind it. And even though I don't edit out my goof-ups, I still got to clean up the product to make it look presentable and make sure it's not only sounds good, but looks good, because time is the most valuable thing on the planet. And the fact that you're spending time with me, I want to give you the best product I can. But I'm continuously learning and getting better. So along with it, kind of something new what we're doing here. And I had considered doing, actually I mentioned it on the last episode, doing live streams 3 days a week. But after talking with a coach I'm working with, we decided that let's just continue doing the 3 podcasts a week, but do the live streams like twice a month and really build them up so we can get audience engagement. Like I'll let you know when the next live stream is, give you a time, you can tune in, you can ask questions in advance, we can participate in a Q&A right there on the live stream and engage with the audience. So it'll kind of, I don't know, what my coach had mentioned is, and yes, I do have a coach, and I think everybody, regardless where you're at, should have a coach, simply because you don't know what you don't know. In order to get to that next level, you got to work with somebody who's at that level that you want to aspire to be at. So anyway, we talked about really prioritizing the time for the live stream. So that's the reason we decided to do what we're doing there. All right. Well, anyway, something else we're doing is asking an engagement question. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, ring that bell so you're notified of every new episode coming up. But here's the engagement question. What's the most important lesson you've learned from a failure? And how has that shaped you into a stronger leader? Woo. I'll repeat it. What's the most important lesson you've learned from failure? And how has that shaped you into a stronger leader or athlete? So if you're watching on YouTube, type that in the comments. If you're listening on we're available now, thank goodness, and I'm blessed. Thank you, God, for helping me continue to build this podcast on all podcast platforms worldwide. So I'm extremely happy about that. And make sure if you like it, share, subscribe, all those good things, and think about this engagement question throughout the whole podcast, throughout the whole episode, and maybe jump on YouTube. You can watch and see me. Hey, YouTube watchers, and actually drop the comment in there. Here's our 3 warrior confidence integrity tips. The first one, find strength in losses. True leaders go through adversity, but they own their mistakes. Now, as much as I don't like losing, I definitely don't like making mistakes. Well, obviously mistakes generally turn into losses, right? And, being humble, we all make mistakes. I mean, it's one of those things that happens in life. Like I said, as much as I don't enjoy it, as much as I don't like it, it happens. So what can I do? What can I learn from that? Well, I can find the strength from those losses. And realize a champion is not someone who's never failed. A champion is someone who's failed over and over and over again, but refuses to give up. They refuse to quit. They're like, I ain't going down. I may get knocked down, but I ain't staying down. I'm getting back up. I'm learning from this. I'm battling through. I'm fighting. I'm scratching. I'm clawing to do what I can to get ahead. Now, in the business world, and those that listen all the time, you know this, I was a terrible business person. I've been bankrupt twice, house foreclosed on, cars repossessed. And in the athletic world, I'm not a very big person. So oftentimes I was overlooked. Why? Well, right now I'm 5'7". I was generally always the smallest, shortest guys on every team I played on, regardless if it was hockey or baseball or football or in martial arts. So if I didn't do something to stand out in the crowd, if I didn't get noticed, I was overlooked. And I know a lot of you out there, probably taller than I am, so you've already got it. I don't want to say an advantage, but if you just blend in, man, you're not going to get noticed. Hockey players out there, and it's the same thing I tell the hockey players all the time, the ones I work with, you have got to bring something that others aren't willing to bring. And truthfully, today it's easier than ever. The 3 things I talk about with my program, the How to Get More Ice Time program: respect, work ethic, proper communication, and leadership skills. You do those things, I promise you're going to stand out from the crowd. Now, just because you follow along on this podcast, just because you follow along the steps and principles of things I tell you and others tell you, does not mean you're not going to fail. You're going to fail. But it's not a failure until you give up and quit. So just keep battling through. Think about this. When you were first learning to walk, man, you crashed and burned. You fell so many times, but you had a goal. I'm going to walk. Now, at that early age, I mean, you didn't sit down and write out a 5-step plan on how you're going to do it. You just had, you were tenacious and had tenacity. I am going to walk. And because why? I see the adults walking around and they get around a lot faster than I can. That's something I want to do. I'm going to walk. And you did it, regardless how many times you failed. Not one time did you think, well, I guess this walking thing just isn't for me. And parents and coaches out there, the same thing with your kids. Not one time did you think, because your kid fell down 50 times trying to learn how to walk, that they weren't going to get it. You kept, you're like, come here, come on, come get, oh, come here. And you get the video camera out and the cameras and the pictures and everything else. Because it was a grandiose thing, right? Finally learn how to walk. Yes. And then feeding themselves. Same thing. Food all over the face. But they got it. My point of all this, all the failures trying to walk, all the failures are trying to feed yourself, but you never gave up. You kept battling through. Parents, you never gave up on your kids. Coaches, you never gave up. So I bring that up. I want you to realize they are going to have failures. They are going to have setbacks. They're going to have challenges. Encourage and motivate them, just like you did when they were learning to walk or learning to feed themselves. Don't give up on them, especially as teenagers. Teenagers, oh, that's a tough, I guess, age bracket to be in. It's even nowadays. It's at every, I guess, generation says, oh, they're the worst. They're the worst. Now, there's a lot of negative influence out there, and these things right here, our phones, social media, and we have all the connectivity in the world, but yet most people don't know how to communicate and connect. That's why it's a big part of my program. And I'm telling you, you do those little things, being respectful, working harder, standing out from the crowd, doing things to get noticed in a respectful light, in a respectful way, and to communicating as a leader, you're going to get noticed because unfortunately so few are willing to do it. But you got to take those chances. And yes, you're going to have failures when you do. But it's not a complete failure until you what? Give up and quit. That's right. All right, so think about the engagement question again. The most important lesson you learned from a failure and how it's helped shape you as a leader today. All right, number 2 of the Warrior Confidence Integrity tips, stay humble and fight hard. Humility means always learning, even when you're succeeding, even when you're on top. Continue staying humble. Because when you lose your humility, you start thinking you're the greatest of all times. Woo! I'm telling you, a big fall is about to happen. Stay humble. Now, humble doesn't mean naive. Humble means what it means. Always willing to learn. I like to say, Socrates said, all I know is I know nothing. And that's a good way to keep me humble. Keep me learning, reading, studying. Matter of fact, I got a new book I've been working on. Well, it's not my book, but it's Alistair McCoy, Champion Minded. It's kind of a big one here. I like listening to the Audible version first. It's kind of how I've been doing things over the years. I'll listen to the Audible. If I like the Audible a lot, then I'll buy the book and I'll go through and highlight. And I can take Audible notes as well. But I like highlighting in the book so I can share it with you on these podcasts. There's some good stuff in there. Champion Minded. And we talk about having that champion mindset all the time. And lo and behold, I see a book that has that. Now, of course, I think, man, I could write a book like that. Well, of course I have. I got 3 books over there. I got another one that's in the works. I've changed the title so many times that I'm not even sure where we're at. It's going to be based on kind of the mentor, because that's what I'm trying to aspire to be, is the mentor I always wanted, needed, and prayed for in my life. I'm trying to be the mentor for you, the listener out there, for the athletes, for the coaches, for the parents. I'll share all the mistakes I've made, all the goof-ups I've made along the way. So hopefully you don't repeat those same mistakes. Make your own mistakes, but hopefully I can help you get over the humps and mistakes you've made. It's kind of like, people are here. They want to get here. And of course, there's a big gap in between. Well, the whole idea of the mentor is building that bridge so you can go across that bridge to get to your goals. That's what a coach does. And that's why I've got a coach. And that's why I recommend everyone should have a coach, just to help them get from here to here. And instead of struggling, I mean, it's good. You're going to battle. It's going to be tough. But it's really unnecessary to struggle when you got someone there to help you out. Good? All right. So number 1, find the strength in the losses. Number 2, remember to stay humble and fight hard, even in victory. Even in victory. You continue. And as what I mentioned earlier, but I do not like to lose. I hate losing. But I've learned more in defeat than I ever have in victory. Because what happens is you win, you sometimes don't evaluate or critique yourself as much as you should because you think, I got it all figured out. It's the losses, not only they sting, but it's the losses where you're like, dang, I don't want that to happen again. What can I learn from that? Now, in victory and losses, count your blessings, talk about things you did right. Oftentimes, when we win, we don't reflect on what we could have done differently to do better. When we lose, we forget to reflect on what we did right. We only focus on the negative. So I'm saying, balance things out a little bit there. When you win, be grateful, be glad. You put in the hard work, you earned it, you did it. But then also think, what could I have done? Because I'm sure in the process of winning, it wasn't perfect. What could you have done a little different? What could you have done better? And the same thing. In the process of losing, think about what you did right, and then focus a lot more on what could I do better so I don't experience this horrible taste of defeat again. Because that taste of defeat, tastes terrible. I don't like it. And the only way to get that defeated taste out of your mouth, that's what it is. Think about that. When you lose, it just leaves a horrible taste in your mouth. The only way to get it out, you got to work it out. Hard work in practice, hard work in games, get that taste out and taste that sweet taste of victory. Yes. We like that taste, don't we? And just a reminder, 2 types of pain we suffer every day. One of 2, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Now, the pain of discipline is tough at the time. Man, is it tough. Boy, does it pay dividends. Woo, good dividends. The pain of regret, simple at the time. Doesn't cost you a thing. But man, oh man, you continuously pay for it. And it seems to never stop. Well, I got like a tickle in my throat here. All right. So the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Well, hey, let's talk about the hockey program I briefly brought up. It's how to get more ice time. $9 for the master class. And then for the workbook and the ebook, it's a few dollars more. I'm telling you, you want to get noticed. You want your kiddo to get noticed. Coaches, you want your athletes to get noticed and do all the things you want them to do. Be respectful, work hard, communicate like a leader. Pick up the program. Now, for organizations and teams, I got a great referral program. You're going to work together on this thing. You get 10% back of every program sold through your organization, and you can use that money for anything you want. Use it for extra tournaments, extra ice time, uniforms, whatever. It's fundraisers. Nobody likes doing fundraisers. Here's a great fundraiser for you. You get 10% back, and the athletes get a program that's going to help them, which is going to help the team, which is going to help the organization. Whoa! It's a win, 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 win. So go to warriorconfidence.com, warriorconfidence.com. The link will be in the description box. Check that baby out. Like I said, the masterclass video, it's 45 minutes long. It's $9. To get the workbook and the ebook, it's a few dollars more. I mean, it's definitely, I think the whole full program is $48. Man, that's a no-brainer. So check it out, warriorconfidence.com. All right, back at it with tip number 3. Fight with discipline. Integrity and discipline, that's the consistent action of a champion. Together, integrity and discipline. Now, they're almost one and the same, right? When you discipline yourself to do the things you know you need to do when you need to do them, that's showing integrity. Because when you say you're going to do the things you know you need to do and you don't do them, well, not only are you breaching discipline, and you've lost your integrity. Now, integrity, and a lot of you have heard me talk about this before, the root word of integrity is integer. Now, integer is a whole being. You think about integer. It's not a half. It's not a partial. It's not a piece. Integer is one whole. So you either have integrity or you don't. You don't have integrity when it's convenient, and then when it's not convenient, you don't have it. No, that's where discipline and integrity, that's like that synergy, right? They synchronize together. You say you're going to do it, gosh darn it, do it. It's that pain of discipline. Pain of discipline. It's tough at the moment. It's like, well, I feel like I'm the only one doing it. But I'm telling you, it pays endless dividends. Which are good. And a pain of regret. Well, regret, that if you don't have that discipline, you're breaching your integrity. And that regret's going to be with you. You're going to think, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Man, I wish I would have done more. Man, I wish I had one more shot at it. And I tell the seniors all the time, look, this is it, guys. This is your senior year, and we're already 5 games in. It goes by, boom, so fast. So fast. Leave everything you got on the ice. Give everything you got in practice to get as much ice time as you possibly can. Because it flies on by. And that looking back 5, 10, 20, 30 years later and saying, man, I wish I would have. That's that pain of regret I keep talking about. Suffer that pain of discipline right now. Keep your integrity in place. When you say you're going to do it, stand up and do it. Stand out from the crowd. Be the priceless original you were born to be. Good? All right. Well, let's do a quick review of the 3. Before we do that, though, quick shout out to our sponsors. My wife's coffee truck, Beachside Blend. Man, oh man, there's a link in the description box that'll take you right to their website. So if you're in the Palmetto, Bradenton, Tampa, where else? Sarasota area, you can check out where their location's going to be, where they're going to, the different schools are going to be at, the different park events. Ice rinks, they've been working on getting on the ice rinks too, so hopefully they'll be able to. But anyway, check it out. You'll see their calendar. Man, get yourself a delicious coffee, luscious lotus drink, succulent smoothie. Man, those things, they are so good. So good. And it's made fresh every day, of course. So Beachside Blend, check them out. Links in the description box. And, of course, Warrior Confidence, how to get more ice time. Yeah, I sponsor my own show. And why shouldn't I, right? All right. So what are the 3 tips now that I'm lost? Goodness. The 3 are, goodness gracious, keep coughing here. I take these notes, I write them all out so I can stay organized, and I get to talking and get lost. That's why I need these notes. I do have, I always like to say I got one working brain cell, and it flickers all the time. And then you mix that with some ADD and ADHD and, focus issues. I'm all over the place. So I'm so grateful, thankful that you continue to tune in and listen with me. All right, quick recap. The 3 steps. The Warrior Confidence Integrity tips. Find strength in your losses. You're going to lose. You're going to fail. That's all there is to it. Find strength in it, learn from it, grow from it, move on and get better from it. Number 2, stay humble and continue to fight hard, especially in victory. Stay humble in victory, thinking about what you can do. Because, man, when you win, that taste in your mouth, that's so great, right? You feel so good. You want to replicate that. You want to feel that again. Well, what do you need to do in order to repeat that? Well, your next opponent, your next challenge is probably going to be tougher than the one you just overcame. And if it's not tougher, then it's not really a challenge. And you're not really learning and growing from it. So always stay humble. Always continue to fight. Always try to continue to get better. Learn, read, listen to podcasts like this. I always tell the players hockey IQ. Get smarter at the game so you can lead on and off the ice. And number 3, fight with discipline. Have that in discipline and that integrity in everything you do. If you say you're going to do it, do it. Because if you don't, people are going to not only not believe you anymore, they're not going to listen to you anymore. You're going to say, well, he always says he's going to do this, but he never does. Be a man of your word, character, integrity, honor, discipline, respect. Those core values, those virtues that unfortunately so few have these days. So the simple fact of you having them, you're going to stand out from the crowd. So do it. Good? All right. Well, hey, as a reminder, if you found value in this message, and I'm hopeful you did there, drop in the comments. Tell me your favorite part of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, something that meant something to you, and then it would mean the world to me if you liked, subscribed, rang that bell so you're notified on the podcast. Give that 5-star review so others can learn more about the show, because the more reviews we get, the higher it ranks in the search engines. And then please share it with somebody that could find value in this. And parents and coaches, listen to this. Listen to it again in the car. Let your kiddos hear it. On the way to hockey games, on the way to practice, when you pick them up from school, to help empower them, to help them unleash their inner warrior, help them embrace their full potential, to be the hero, the champion, the leader they were born to be. Good? All right, everybody. Well, thank you so very much for your time. I'm truly grateful. I know time is the most sacred commodity. There's a million other things you could be doing. So the fact that you're listening or watching me right now means the world to me, and I promise I'm going to continue doing everything I can to bring you the absolute very best I can to help you become the leader, the hero, the champion, the mentor you were born to be. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best. And I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Can't wait to read your comments and can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Warrior Confidence Unleashed podcast. I am truly grateful for your time. If you found value in this message, please kindly share it with someone else who could also benefit from it, especially teenagers and adult athletes and leaders who are serious about getting noticed, getting more playing time, and leadership roles. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share your comments with us, and we truly appreciate your 5-star reviews, as that helps spread the message even further. Stay connected with us throughout the week on all social media platforms at Real Rich Grogan, and visit our website at warriorconfidence.com for access to all our programs and books. The links are in the description box. Thank you again for your time, and I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day. God bless. Parents, are you frustrated seeing your superstars sit on the bench, getting overlooked and passed over for ice time and leadership roles? I personally know that heartbreaking pain. Well, that frustration ends today. Introducing our How to Get More Ice Time program, the amazing one-of-a-kind program for youth and teenage hockey players that helps them get what they want most, more playing time and more opportunities. And today, exclusive offer, we're selling this thing for only $9. $9. It's a no-brainer. But you got to act now, because this offer won't last, and if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So go to warriorconfidence.com. That's warriorconfidence.com, or simply click on the link in the description box. Buy the program today and help your child get what they want most, more ice time. I want to mention this amazing nutritional company that I've partnered with called Live Pure. And I've been sampling their products for the past 12 months, and I feel 100% confident giving Live Pure my full endorsement. That's why I'm sharing it with you now. My personal nutrition, health, wellness, weight loss, and muscle tone have all improved dramatically. I mean, all the products are third-party lab tested, 100% clean, pure, and natural. They're a Christian-based company with over 17 years of improving lives. So check out the link in the description box to learn more and to get preferred partner pricing.